Hello students and welcome back to our Spot That English Error video series. It's been about 6 months since my last recording in our Spot That English Error video series, and I want to dive into our 31st video highlighting an apartment notice, building notice that had two major spelling errors. So I want to see if we can spot them together, and I want to see how we can fix them and also learn a little bit more vocabulary in this Spot That English Error video. This is a real apartment notice. You can see here, there's the main notice and then there's the bottom of the notice here. And I've crossed out a number here. I don't want anyone, any numbers related to the apartment building because it's a real apartment building. But we're going to talk about one, where's the errors? Where are the errors here? Two, what kind of errors they are in English. And then three, how do we avoid these kind of errors in the future? So my name is Ben with English from A to Z, and let's get started. All right, so let's dive in here. I will zoom in a little bit more here. So we have office hours. That's fine. Every apartment building is going to have office hours. Monday, in this case, close. Tuesday to Friday, 9 to 6 p.m. A.m. meaning morning, 6 being p.m. The days are spelled correctly, 10 to 5. I did cut it off a little bit because I want to focus on the error here. So can you spot the English error here in this notice? This is a building notice. This is an actual notice. The errors are real. This is not AI. So think about it for a moment. And before we do, guest suite is kind of an amenity where you have a visitor who can stay in your apartment building in a separate room or suite. So guest suite means for somebody who's visiting, right? So I'll check that off. We've learned about this. What is a guest suite? And this is good for English for traveling, right? So we have guest suite. Community room is where people in the apartment complex can get together. Pet station, if you need to wash your pet or maybe clean them up or maybe groom them. There's a pet station in a lot of apartment buildings. Community room, again, is where people can maybe use the Wi-Fi network, maybe watch TV. Fitness center is just another word for gym or gymnasium where people can work out, right? Exercise. So that's sometimes included as an amenity. And then the dog park, maybe there's an area near the complex where people can take their dog out for a walk, to use the bathroom, to meet other dogs, and to socialize. So these are all examples of amenities, okay? Let me make sure I have an arrow here. Okay. Yep. So those are amenities. So hopefully you've guessed the error by now, but this is a spelling error, and so is our other one I'm going to go through in a second. So pause the video first and try to figure out on your own what is this spelling error in English for this real life building notice. All right. For those of you who guessed that, yes, there are two M's here, amenities. This is a big error that is unfortunate. They should have caught it, but that is a fact. And what we're going to do, we're going to just cross this out. We don't need a second M. It would be amenities. The M would be amenities, but it's amenities. There's no double M, right? So we're getting rid of this, and we're going to write it as in the correct way, just so you know. And then no double M. Okay, this is pretty clear now for you all at home. You never want to write amenities with another M. There should not be two M's. So I'm going to leave that down here. Let me change the font maybe to red here. So, okay, great. So amenities, no double M, right? So cross out the M. I don't know why they put it there, but that's kind of a silly error that we want to avoid. I spotted it right away. Hopefully you did too. So again, amenities. It doesn't sound like there's a double M. A double M sound would be amenities. So you kind of have to draw it out, but there's no double M here. It's amenities, right? So just the only one M. So good job if you spotted it. We're almost there. We're fixing this building notice one by one. But how do we spot this? How do we spot this English error, right? So maintenance emergency. This is a little bit of a tricky one because there's two errors here. What are we missing here? Can you fix this Spot That English error as you pause the video? So if you pause the video right there and let's see how you did. So we're not missing any letters, but we are actually, we're not, the letters that we have, I should say, are fine, but we're missing two additional letters. And hopefully you guessed correctly. I'm going to use my text chat here again. Hold on a second, folks. So what letters are we missing? We're missing two letters, which are what? So let's start at the beginning. So we're missing an E, right? An E. Maintenance. Maintenance. And we're missing an N. So if you guess E and N, you would be correct. So we're missing two letters, E and N. So if we spell, we're not crossing out anything, but this is a different kind of English error in that we omitted, or the person who did this, not me, the person who did this should have spelled it differently. It should have been maintain with the T, N-A-N-C. Okay, so what we did here is we added an E and an N. So instead of maintenance, maintenance. So this is very key, and I'm going to highlight this separately if I can do that. Hold on a second, folks. I just want to highlight this here. All right, maybe that's not going to happen, but let me do this. Let me put it right under and increase the font size here. So if you can tell here, maintenance becomes maintenance. So the EN, we're missing, that's what we're missing. So that's how we're fixing this thing. We are turning it from maintenance to maintenance. So if you guess we are missing E and N, they're together. They bring together main and tense. And maintenance is not a word. Okay? It sounds like maintenance, but maintenance is not a word. It's maintenance. There's another syllable in there. Maintenance, like ten. Maintenance. Okay? So remember, it's three syllables, not two. Maintenance, not correct. Maintenance, emergency. Emergency, luckily, here is spelled correctly. So that's good. But again, we added E and N here. And I'm just going to highlight that they're going to be E and N. All right? So unfortunately, let me do an underline here. So let me underline a bit if I can. Okay, great. So again, E and N, maintenance. All right. So that is our spot that English error, and we got two errors. Okay, so this is a double one. So again, if you got E and N, you are correct. So again, to recap, let's go back to the other one. Amenities, we had one extra M, didn't need to be there. So amenities, think of the word, no double M. We went over the vocabulary, and then we were missing two letters from maintenance, right? E and N. Maintenance, that's three syllables. So hopefully you did well. I'm going to come up with a good title for this video, but it's going to deal with fixing errors or fixing spelling errors with apartment notices. I'm going to keep doing these Spot That English Error videos. This one was a good one because you saw two different kinds of spelling errors. Errors of omission, where we didn't have the two letters needed, and then a double, kind of an error where we had an extra letter. So errors of omission and extra letter errors, let's say. So we sometimes need to add letters, and then sometimes we need to subtract letters to get the correct spelling for amenities in this case with one M, and then maintenance with the E and N added. So take away the M, add the E and N. I really enjoyed doing this video with you all. I hope you did too. Go to our website, www.englishfromatozee.com, to learn about our great English language learning products and services, including private lessons, group classes, and online courses with our certified ESL teachers. Thank you again so much for watching. I really enjoy doing these videos. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this one, and subscribe to our English from A to Z YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much, everybody, and I'll see you again soon for another English from A to Z Spot That English Error video. Take care now. Bye-bye.